everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I have something much different than I normally do on my channel. I've been making journals for a few years now, and I've gotten lots of practice in and have been watching lots of tutorials, just making them as gifts for friends, family, and for myself. And I've finally gotten to the point where I am brave enough to share one of my journals with all of you. So this is actually a book style journal, and I got a lot of my ideas from Nik the Booksmith. She's got some wonderful tutorials if you have never checked her out and you're into the journal scene. But anyways, this is the journal that I have made, and it is a pretty large journal. I do not know the exact dimensions, but I can list them down below. This did not fit anywhere in the journal, but I really wanted to include it with it, so I will show you that afterwards. But it is wrapped with this coffee dyed lace, and I created the journal cover myself on Canva, and we have a nice large spine here. It's like a faux leather. And then this is the back, and this is just a wonderful quote that I really, really love. It says, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it," by Roald Dahl. And there's lots of just little touches here and there, little decorations, lots of different fabrics, lots of different textures, lots of different little goodies and elements to find on this journal. I did do a spine dangle. I really like the looks of them. This one's a little on the long side, but you could always cut it if you wanted to. There's lots of laces on here, different ribbons. These are coffee dyed. And then there is some twine and hemp rope with some handmade paper beads, some glass beads, some little faux pearls. There's a beautiful little charm here on the end with a butterfly on it, and some of my hand spun, hand dyed wool as well, wool yarn here. So that unclips here with just this clip, super easy. And we're gonna put that aside, and then we will untie this lace that wraps around, and it is attached to the cover with an eyelet here. And so this is the theme of this journal. It started out as I really wanted it to be like a fairy themed journal, but I was having trouble finding a lot of the fairies that fit more the aesthetic that I was looking for. I really wanted to stay with a lot of neutral tones, very earthy tones. So this is what I came up with for my cover, and this is just some clip art that I had found on Canva, and then, you know, my own little title here is Nature, Flora, Fauna, and Fae. So it's not just the fairies anymore. We've got some flowers and some other animals and such in here. And then, so the first thing on top here, this is a little envelope that I made out of some craft paper and some coffee dyed vellum. And then this is just a little dried flower that I glued on the side here. And this opens up in the back here. And I made this as like a little fairy stationery set. So it's just tied together with some twine here. And we have 4 cute little envelopes. And these are just made out of some Tim Holtz scrapbooking paper. So there's 4 little envelopes here, and then there's several sheets of this very kind of natural feeling, like fiber paper. I think it's got some seeds in it or something too. I don't remember, but yeah, so a bunch of little sheets of that so that you can write little notes and put them in your little envelopes. And like I said, they did not fit anywhere in the journal itself, so I have kept them separately. And then the other things on this outside of the journal here, I added a little specimen card. These are handmade by me. This is a dried clover flower, and I added a very cute little honeybee charm, just a little bronze honeybee charm there. So when you open up the journal, you're gonna come to this, and we'll do this side first. The whole thing is definitely not going to fit on this table, so we're gonna be moving around a lot here. So the first section here, this is just a pocket that I created here, and I have made some kind of reference cards here out of some scrapbooking paper, note cards, and these are from a vintage dictionary, and I found some apothecary's weight and apothecary's fluid measure. And I just thought that those were really cool. So I made some little reference cards out of those. This came out of a biology book from, I believe, the 60s. And I just thought it was a cute little reference of bird beak adaptations. So, and you can journal and take notes on the back of that one. And then these were just some symbols that I had found in one of my vintage dictionaries. They were just biology symbols, and I thought that that was pretty cool too. So we made another little card out of that. And those just go on the front here. And then this side opens up like so. And this is a pocket. It's a window pocket. And it says birds. That is hand stamped. And then I have a journaling card in here. The reason I did it as a window pocket is because I loved the image behind it, this Tim Holtz image. I just thought it was super duper pretty. And then this is a printable from Art Scavenger, and this is just a bunch of different feathers, and I've just made this into a journaling tag with some kind of muslin fabric tag here. So that goes back in there. Snugly but surely. And then this is just a handmade little paper clip. We've been doing some work and outbuilding outside, and this was just some copper that was left over from the electrical wiring that we were doing. So I just kind of twisted it up and just made a cute little paper clip and stuck it right up there. And I'm going to apologize now for the condition of my hands and my arms here. My cat was playing with me, so I have multiple cat scratches, a little burn right here, and my nails are a mess. So I apologize for that, but I've been wanting to do this video for so long now. I just wanted to get it done and get it out. This is a little accordion envelope, if you can see that right there. And I did get this idea from Nik the Booksmith, so thank you, Nick. And inside this pocket, you have a little thumb hole here, a little thumb hole here at the back. I've just put some of my coffee dyed lined paper in the back here as some extra journaling space, note-taking space and such. And then on the front pocket here, I have made a cute little notebook. And this is just made out of some cardstock, some Tim Holtz paper, some little printouts that I did myself on coffee dyed vellum, some torn paper, and then on the inside is just a bunch of my hand coffee dyed papers. We've got some just kind of regular lined paper that was coffee dyed that doesn't really have lines on it anymore. We've got some yellow legal paper that was coffee dyed, and then just some plain copy paper that was coffee dyed. And these are all, oh, there's some tea dyed ones in here too. These are a little bit lighter. Those are definitely the tea dyed ones. So there's that. I included a piece of this very pretty floral paper here. It's kind of delicate. The petals are kind of starting to fall out. I'm not even sure where I got this from. I only have a few pieces of it, but it's just super pretty, and I just wanted to include that in there as a little writing space or for collaging or whatnot. And then I just made a little card here with the 2023 calendar. That all checks right back in there. And then we come to this here, and this is more the journaling section, and it's broken into 3 different sections. And this was another kind of, this was a Nik the Booksmith tutorial that I had watched. I did not do it exactly the way that she did. I put kind of my own spin on it and everything. But there are some elements that are going to be the same as one of the lap books that she did. So I started out, this is just an old file folder, and I printed out this poem on this vellum paper, and I wanted it to be kind of a window. So I put it into just a kind of like a frame so that you can still see a little bit behind it. And then that opens up, and we've got some pockets here. And this is a printable from, most of my printables are from the art scavenger that are in here, and with my Tim Holtz paper, and then other cardstock and vintage fabrics that I have thrifted and everything. So this is just a little faux vintage postcard. This is a real vintage memo paper that I found in an old music book that I found at a thrift store, and I did put some, so this is 1943. I did put some decoupage over this because it is pencil. I did not want it to wear off. So I did do a little bit of the decoupage glue over the top of it just to kind of seal it and keep that pencil safe, so that you have that beautiful handwritten script there. And then this is just a little card that I made. I believe this was from Public Domain, the image. Little tag, excuse me. And then in here, so this I created kind of last minute. I wanted something else to put in here, and this was kind of a crazy last idea. So this is a bookmark, so you can mark where you are on your journal, and this kind of hangs up over the top of the journal. But I wanted to include just some of the different textures that are included in this journal. So you have some of this hand spun wool yarn on here, like you have on the tassel. There's some of that Tim Holtz paper, the coffee dyed vellum, the vintage dictionary pages, ribbon, some of my coffee dyed vintage eyelet lace and lace here, and then a little like fabric yo-yo that is also vintage put on there just for fun. And then the back side has the same fabric that I included on the spines of the fold outs. And I just thought that that was a fun little extra piece. And then this here, this is just another little window pocket, and I have just included a oracle card that I had in my stash of stuff here, and it has this gorgeous fairy, and it says 5 of Fire. And I thought that this was just very pretty and whimsical. And I know it says memories. I don't have any memory of this, but somebody might. And I just thought that it was very pretty, and I wanted to include that in there. And then most of these pages are just hand coffee dyed pages. I did not embellish very much because I wanted it just to be strictly journaling space. You will find some stamping in here. There are a couple collages here and there. There's one of the collages on that coffee dyed vellum. Some stamping here, and then there is an envelope in the center of the signature, and I have included a color page from a vintage dictionary from the 60s of these mushrooms, and I just thought that this was very cool vintage mushroom going along with the flora theme in the book. I'm not even sure what's on the other side. Mountains. I mean, that works too. But I loved the mushroom page and the colors of these mushrooms. And that just tucks right in that envelope there. And held shut with paper clip. And then just some more coffee dyeing, some ledger paper. This is not vintage ledger paper, but this is coffee dyed ledger paper. And hold, please. Okay, gotta figure out where I was here. So we just looked at this. Sorry about that, the phone rang. And then again, just some more coffee dyed papers, the coffee dyed vellum, little side collage here. And then I put a little tag in an eyelet on the top here with some of that coffee dyed vellum and a little photo of some butterflies, moths from Tim Holtz. And then this is the next section, and this is just the pocket right here, a large pocket. And I have put some of those pages from that vintage biology book, all about mammals. So if you want to read about mammals and then take a little quiz from an old biology book, you can do that. Whoop. Put it in there the right way. And then this section here just has a little belly band right here with a couple journaling cards. And these are public domain photos that I've just made journaling cards out of. I put them, backed them with some cardstock, and then added some little fabric tags. And this is another idea that I had gotten from Nik the Booksmith, and I actually added some little brads in here to the side of mine because I thought that it would look really cute. So these are all pockets, and there is a tag in each of these pockets. So we've got a tag here with some lined coffee dyed paper on the back with a little lace or ribbon. Then there is a cute little, just a little note card, blank note card from my stash that I included in there. Very pretty moth. And then another little itty bitty note card that I made out of a greeting card. That came from a greeting card. And then you turn the page here, and we have another section with some pockets. There is a large pocket back here with a large journaling tag with some of that coffee dyed legal paper and a little fabric tag. And this was actually some cardstock that I was just kind of cleaning my stamps off on when I was done stamping something. And I didn't really want to waste the ink, so I was just kind of stamping all over this cardstock, and it actually came out kind of pretty. So I used that as the backing of that journaling card. And this section is actually made out of an old file folder, and this was an old CD sleeve that I coffee dyed and have made that into a couple pockets with a little journaling card here and a little journaling card here with the anatomy of a dandelion. And then here is another one of those copper paper clips that I made. And this is an envelope that I made with some crafted paper. And I have actually just stuck some of the vellum stickers in here, or washi stickers, I guess they are called. Just some flowers, some leaves, mushroom, so that you can put those wherever you would like in the journal. And then when you open up that, this is the next journaling section. Again, some more of that vellum, stamping. This is a coloring page that I coffee dyed, just a mandala. Some more stamping. Some heavy copy staining here. And here, I love how these darker pages came out. And then on the back here, I used some, just some note cards and did some tea staining on them, inked around the edges, and then we did a note to self here, and there's another one inside so that you've got plenty of room to jot down notes, journal, whatever you would like to do. That one says notes to self, and then down here it says remember your notes to yourself. And then this just folds back down like that and closes like that. We're gonna close that. So then this other side here, so it's kind of I put this on this side instead of this side because this idea came after I had already done this. So, I mean, I probably should have switched them, but anyways, this is just a Ex Libris Pay card with some really cute mushrooms on them. I believe, I can't remember who I got these from. I did purchase it off of Etsy, so I will try to link them down below. Oh, the back side of this too. Whoops, 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 whoops. There's another pocket here. And this is a poem with some very beautiful artwork on it, Upon a Midsummer, just that I got out of one of my fairy magazines. And I just thought that that was very pretty. And then there's a little thing on the back here, The Pixies of Penzance, a fairy trail through Cornwall. So that goes in that pocket there. And then there are 3 more pockets here. This has a couple other little oracle cards in them. This one is a Woodland Animals oracle deck. It's a little sleeping fawn there. And this is from a fairy oracle deck. And I just drew these at random, and we got Renew and Turn the Wheel. And then this is another gorgeous oracle card that I had. And look at that beautiful little like butterfly dragon. And this is Patience with White Monte Cassino and Yellow Pansy. And this is from Enchanted Blossoms Oracle, if anybody's interested. And then this card back here, I just made this with some music paper and backed it with some cardstock. All right, so when we open up, excuse me, we open up this, we come to this section. And so this is an envelope made from a manila envelope, and this is some vellum paper on the inside here. And in this, I have included several tags with different pine cones, pine variety species on it. And those are from Art Scavenger. And I have also included, if I can get it out of here. There we go. So there's all those tags. And I've also included a section from that biology book on evergreens. And it's backed on a vintage book page with the pines on it. So that's how this page ended up coming to be. And it's just all tucked back in there. And then this folds out like this. And I got this from the Vintage Dictionary, and this was all about just handwriting and stuff. And I loved the script on this. So I left this just as is. I did do a little window pocket up here. This is a photo from that Vintage Dictionary with the anatomy of a flower. And this just opens up as a little card with some extra journaling space. And then here we have an envelope, and I just included some extra small pieces of coffee dyed paper in that envelope, held together with a fancy little paper clip. And then this folds down, and then I have created just kind of a sideways waterfall flip of some graph paper. This one is a vintage graph paper, and this is almost like a tracing paper thickness to it. And then this is just a more modern grid paper that I tea dyed or coffee dyed. And it's held on with some really cute little vintage looking mushroom and pine washi tape. And then this folds out like this, and we have some pockets here. And in this one, I've just included a business card from a company that I have gotten some stuff from before, so you can go check them out. And then this is a little vintage note card that I have included. It's just super cute. Looks like kind of a watercolor spring floral painting with some irises, some daffodils, some tulips. and those just go in there. I have the definition of biological here from my vintage dictionary. And then this is a journaling card that I made. This is a leaf that I found outside somewhere. I'm honestly not sure what tree it was from, but I did some collaging, decoupaged paste over this so that it would stay sealed in there. And then just some journaling space on the back here. And that page is backed with some vintage music paper. And then this is just a little notepad that I made. This is another Nik the Booksmith idea that I took. And it's just some different papers. This is some floral paper, the coffee dyed vellum, regular vellum, coffee dyed legal paper, coffee dyed regular paper, some of that Tim Holtz scrapbooking paper, this heavily coffee dyed lined composition paper, and a vintage dictionary page, and some of that vintage grid paper there that's very delicate. And then I printed out this beautiful mushroom picture on this vintage dictionary page. And then this opens up again to reveal the best part of the book. So this was technically an idea from Nik the Booksmith to put these in here. This is not the first time I have made specimen cards. I have made many specimen cards for my own journals in things that I have found around my yard and from visiting back home up in Vermont. So I have done a few specimens here. We have a clover, and each one of them I have torn out the section of the dictionary that is what it is and glued that on there. So we've got clover here, and then this is a hibiscus flower petal, and this is so pretty because it could kind of be a little fairy wing too. It's almost translucent, this really pretty pale pink with that yellow in there. So yeah, that's really nice. And then we have some birch bark. We have some cypress needles, and these are all from Vermont. We have a beautiful little feather, and I do not remember what this is from or where this was from. And then some lavender, and this is also from Vermont. And then we have some beautiful moss, and this one actually looks really cool when you look at it up to the light. And then I've included some extra little coffee dyed vellum envelopes that I made. So like a little coin envelope here and then a regular envelope for you to collect your own specimens to put in the journal. And then this just has a card that I had gotten in a subscription box of magical and edible flowers. So that's some interesting reading there. And then that all folds back like that. And then this opens again even further out like this. And then here is the other side of that greeting card from the little card back in here. So that put together like that. So I got 2 note cards out of that. And that is in another little pocket envelope with this really pretty vintagey looking mushroom image, and then it has some autumn quotations in the back, which is really nice. I like that. And then this pocket here, this is my insect page. I thought that this was very cool. So this is that Tim Holtz paper again, and then this was from that vintage biology book with an insect page on it. So we've got a grasshopper here, and then we've got the butterfly transformation, metamorphosis from caterpillar to cocoon into the butterfly there. So I've got these little bug cards from images that I got from the art scavenger, and I've just printed them out on some cardstock and made some little tags here. And then this is also a page from that vintage biology book on the economic importance of insects. and social insects. And we've got a metamorphosis of the ant here as well. Some interesting little diagrams in this vintage biology book that I found. So those just all tuck right in there. And then that folds down. And then we are on to our last section. So this is an envelope that I made. The string might be a little long, so that could be cut down, but I wanted to be sure it's not gonna fall apart. And this just has a little journaling card with an image on it of some different birds and some coffee dyed eyelet lace there. Just tucks back in there. And then like that, and hopefully you guys can't hear my daughter crying in the background. I'm trying to do this really quick so that I can get back out there. She's done with Miss Rachel and just wants to be held. So this came from a vintage book that I had called, I think it's The Englishman's Countryside. And I just thought that this picture was really super pretty, this amaryllis. So I wanted to include a page from that book in here. And it's got the torn edge and it's got this beautiful kind of caramelization around the outside edges. And I just folded that and tucked that right in there. It's a little snug, but it does go in. Another detail I didn't mention was that I did add some metal corners to these inside sections here. And then you've got that pretty fabric there on the spine. So yeah, that is the book. I am super happy with the way it came out. I hope that you all like it. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. I definitely have plans to make more journals. There's some in the works as we speak. I have one other small one that is completed that I will probably do a video on if you would all like to see it. I will be posting this in my Etsy shop, so I will link that down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, if you like any of my other content, then please consider subscribing and ringing that notification bell. Give me a little like, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.